Vrabel is like 5 or 6 on the Coach of the Year odds. Yeah, he's 5th place right now in the Coach of the Year odds at plus 1,400. He's behind Bill Belichick, Zach Taylor, Frank Reich within the Indianapolis Colts. And I think that's because they were 1-4. And then they turned this entire thing around, have gone on a run and looked incredible. They got an MVP candidate, a running back, being able to adjust with a brand new quarterback in there this year, and all the shit that went through training camp. I think that's why Frank's there. And Frank, after watching Hard Knocks, I have even more respect for that guy. I love the way Frank Reich seems to operate on the day-to-day. I know he doesn't, but it seems like he smokes a lot of weed. I mean, he does not. I don't think he does. I don't think that's his thing. But he seems to just have a different view on the game. As a backup quarterback, a successful backup quarterback, he has a lot to do with the offensive game plan. He's calling plays. I mean, great coach. I absolutely love. LaFleur, though, and Aaron talked about this just the other day, he's not in anybody's conversation about Coach of the Year other than the sports books who have him at the favorite right now because they're 12-3, top of the NFL. It's B-Flow there in Miami, by the way. Plus 2,400, sitting right behind Mike Vrabel. And then Sean McVay rounds out the top 7 there. Go ahead.
No, you were making a great point because Vrabel, obviously, Henry's been out for half the season.
57 players.
A.J. Brown's been out for 5 games. Julio hasn't played
anything.
at all this season.
I love Frank Reich. I'm literally growing to like him more and more as a coach every Hard Knocks episode. But Vrabel, what he's been able to do, I think we've been saying this for a few weeks. Hey, this Ohio, by the way, which means we know exactly what it means. We know exactly what that means. We meet Vrabes. We probably have some expectations going in. Not good to do that, but he's from Ohio. So stats say there's a good chance we probably know a lot about Vrabes before we even meet Vrabes.
Yeah, a lot of good things. Yeah.
I agree.
Gritty, hardworking, tough guy. Yeah. That's Braves.
Probably some stubbornness in there. Probably quick to sense bullshit and hate them. I mean, Ohio is...
Good awareness, is that what you're saying?
Yes, I do believe. And I'm not saying there's any... and maybe there are a bunch of Nobel Peace Prize and whatever the smart awards are coming out of Ohio. Yeah. Street smarts in Ohio, though, very big. I think just like Pittsburgh, by the way. We're a little bit grittier, tougher, but I think Pittsburgh, Ohio, similar. Vrabel not being up higher was alarming, I think, to both me. I think Foxy immediately was, Vrabel should be in this conversation as well, and it's because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do any conversations. He doesn't do any media. He was in Man in the Arena.
He doesn't care. You think he cares about Coach of the Year? Like, he wants to win the Super Bowl. Like, nothing else matters. He told Taylor Lewan he'd cut his dong off for another ring as a coach. So, like, I don't think any of these coaches truly care about getting Coach of the Year. Hey, congrats. You got knocked out first round of the playoffs, but you did get Coach of the Year. Like, they don't want that.
Yeah, this is kind of like, when the personal awards outweigh the team awards, you want to get that person off your fucking team. Yeah. Like, hey, when this person is worried about this, much more.
When it's pretty apparent, they're all about their own individual awards, much more than what the team does. Yeah, it may cause a fracture in the team.
Oh, congrats, man. Okay. Let's get that person the fuck. And by the way, very Ohio of Vrabes not to care and everything like that, but I do believe there should be a little bit more respect put on his name. And that's not saying that Frank Reich doesn't deserve it. Or,
hey, but if LaFleur wins, though, think about it. If LaFleur wins, everyone's going to say, wait, give me Aaron Rodgers. I'll be Coach of the Year, too.
So I actually told him that in the conversation whenever you were dealing with Omicron at the time, I think. Mm-hmm. Was that where you were at Omicron?
No, you had vacation day.
Vacation. Yeah, so when I talked to him on Tuesday, I said LaFleur has no shot, because he does good, he has Aaron Rodgers. He does bad, he has Aaron Rodgers. How's he losing? And LaFleur has been very quiet, and I think Aaron has been very much pro LaFleur from the very beginning. Publicly, I guess, from the very beginning, it was like they were going to hate each other because I guess Aaron didn't have any say in who was being hired. Nobody really knew what the fuck a LaFleur was coming out of Tennessee. I think his name kind of came out of nowhere. And somebody who was close to Aaron allegedly said that he wasn't happy that he wasn't part of the process, which is Aaron Rodgers' life at this point. Who knows if he said that or not? It became a thing. Then to Mike Murphy, you don't be the problem, remember, which has been debunked since then from Aaron Rodgers about Mark Murphy never saying that. But it all built to the narrative that Aaron and LaFleur, two young offensive, guys aren't going to get along. There's no way Aaron's going to allow this guy to succeed. And I think after that first year where Aaron threw like 26 touchdowns, 2 interceptions or whatever, and it was a down year for him. And then he went into the Zoom offseason because COVID was happening. And Aaron told us that he and LaFleur basically went through like every play. What do we like? What do we don't like? Got on the same page even more. I'm not sure there's a lot of quarterbacks and head coaches doing that. Some, obviously, some, but not a lot. I think LaFleur has tried to do his best to not only earn the trust of Aaron, but also earn the respect of Aaron with the amount of work he puts in. Aaron's always like, this guy just, all he does is work. He doesn't say anything. He gets a fresh fade every day. They trim his eyebrows every day. But other than that, he just looks at football. LaFleur had no shot. I don't think he gives a fuck, but he's won a lot of games, and he's only going to continue to get better, we'd assume.
Yeah, he is. I think he's done a great job of it. Think about it. Yeah, of course, you're coming in and you're coaching the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. You get him playing at a crazy high level. But think of all the stuff he probably has had to deal with behind the scenes, trying to balance out, okay, obviously I'm all in with Aaron. I'm on board with him. But then the whole situation last offseason, the front office, like how do you balance those relationships when you're still trying to win games and help put a roster together?
And you're the offense coordinator, so Jordan Love also.
Yeah, exactly. How do you manage everything involved? Yeah, there's a lot going on there that we don't see.
Yeah, because every press conference while Aaron and Green Bay were at odds this offseason, and every time LaFleur spoke, he couldn't bury Jordan, but he also had to, let Aaron know publicly, like,
watch your back.
And let the team know, hey, we have Aaron's back here. We would like Aaron. It's just very fine balance, not easy to do. LaFleur has done a fantastic job, and nobody really talks about him ever. I'm happy that Aaron gave him a shout-out. The sports books feel the same. But Vrabes, I think, has a case to be pissed off, just like Titans fans have a chance to be pissed off at Danzis for his power rankings. All these coaches make the NFL much better. Belichick should be up for GM and Coach of the Year. I don't know why that doesn't happen. Has he ever won Executive of the Year?
I would
Probably
assume
not.
so.
Probably not.
Is that an award? Does that go to GMs every year?
Yeah.
I bet if he hasn't won that, I bet he's very pissed. He loses sleep over it.
I bet you he knows. I bet you he knows. But he's always classified as a coach.
You're right. He does way more than that.
He's not. The fact that he's been able to do both contract negotiation, strategy.
He's basically an owner too. He's like coach, GM, like co-owner almost.
That's like when I look at The Rock and I'm like, how do you have enough time? All these other coaches.
Too many phone calls. Too many phone calls for those guys to deal with.
And he's got to deal with the agents of people. And I don't know how. I guess that's why he brought back Matt Patricia to kind of help him deal with all.
Yep.
And he had other stuff going on.